people there. Hillary Clinton racking up some hefty travel expenses during the midterm elections. Politico reports the travel tab for both Clintons, Hillary and Bill, adds up to more than $1.5 million. Those expenses paid by political campaigns at events to help Democratic candidates, most of whom, by the way, ended up losing their races despite the help from the Clintons. Let's talk about what this travel tab tells us about the future. Lisa Booth is Senior Director of BlackRock Group. Julian Epstein was Chief Counsel for Democrats on the House Judiciary Committee, Staff Director, I should say, of the Government Reform Committee as well. Welcome to both of you.
Hi, John.
Hi. Julian, I'm going to start with you because it's my understanding that you spent a little quality time with Hillary Clinton recently at a dinner or something like that. Did she give you some inklings as to what's going on?
I did see her. I had a nice conversation with her. I would never kind of reveal the content of the conversation. I would say that the travel tab shows that she's in very, very high demand on Democrats. Look at the approval ratings of her and her husband. In terms of her running for president, I think that she has not made the personal decision as to whether or not she wants to do that, but I think it is highly likely that she will. The challenge for her is going to be to find the right message. I think this can't be about her kind of coronation. It has to be a kind of putting people first message. It's got to be about voters. She's similarly going to have to find a message that isn't exactly the new Democratic message of the 1990s. That was her husband's message, but also not the kind of economic populism of Elizabeth Warren. It's going to have to be kind of her own message. So I think she's likely to run, but she's going to have to make a very, very clear case as to why she's running, and it can't be about her.
Lisa, if she is likely to run, is she likely to win at least the Democratic nomination?
Well, I think she is likely to run, but I think she's got a lot of problems and a lot of explaining to do. Look, she owns President Obama's failed record. Hillary paved the way for Obamacare, and she's directly responsible for President Obama's foreign policy failures. Additionally, she's going to have a lot of trouble with the base. We've already seen liberal groups like MoveOn.org who have been actively petitioning and actively courting someone like Elizabeth Warren. But I think her biggest problem is the fact that she's not Bill Clinton. Unlike her husband, she has an inability to connect with people, and she has a propensity to offend. We saw this on her book tour, which was supposed to really lay the groundwork for her presidential race, with offensive comments like, we're dead broke and, we're not like the truly well off, which goes to Julian's point of having this people narrative. It's going to be hard for her to have that narrative and hard for her to drive a populist narrative with comments like that.
Would you agree, Julian, that Bill Clinton was a centrist Democrat, first of all? And secondly, is that what the party is looking for right now? You do get the impression that the Elizabeth Warren wing of the party wants somebody more liberal than Bill Clinton was when he was in office.
I think you're exactly right, John. I think there is just no question that in the same way that the Republican Party has moved to the right in the last decade, the Democratic Party has also moved to the left. And I think Bill Clinton was a new Democrat, was a third-way kind of Democrat in the 1990s. It was good politics for the Democrats then. I think the situation has changed. And, I do agree with the point that Hillary is going to have her own message. It's going to have to be separate and distinct from the Obama record and the Obama presidency. I think she can do that. And I don't think she has to necessarily choose the kind of 1990s New Democratic message or the Elizabeth Warren economic populist message. I think there's plenty of opportunity for her own distinct message. But that is her fundamental challenge as she announces, which I think will probably be sometime, if I had to guess, I would say sometime around March.
Lisa, you say she might have some problems if she is a potential candidate, but what about the nostalgia for the good old days of the 90s? I mean, might that propel her into the White House?
I don't think so, because I think people are sick and tired of someone like Hillary Clinton. I think they do want, a new path forward. And what I'm really excited, especially with, Republicans right now with heading into the Republican primaries for 2016. We do have a deep bench. We've got a lot of people who've got a lot of intellectuals who have a lot of big ideas for this country. And let's face it, we're facing some big problems with Obamacare, with ISIS, with the economy. And we need big thinkers, and we need people that can really paint and create a better path forward for the country. And I think we've got a lot of strong candidates who are going to be able to do that.
All right.
Let me just push back on Lisa if I can real quickly. I mean, first of all, if you look at Hillary Clinton's approval numbers, I don't think people are sick and tired of her. She has approval numbers that are off the charts to begin with. Secondly, she is a consensus candidate. If you compare what's going on the Republican side, Jeb Bush, who I think is a superb candidate and who is very electable, somebody who I like very much, he's had very moderate positions on things like immigration, things like taxes, things like education. The question for him is, will he be able to actually get the nomination given what is likely to be a civil war in the Republican Party, where you have Tea Party candidates fighting Tea Party candidates, social conservatives fighting social conservatives, economic moderates? Is there any room for economic moderates? You don't have any of that problem really on the Democratic side. Hillary Clinton is the consensus candidate, so that's a big advantage.
Will our next president be a Clinton or a Bush? That's one question that a lot of analysts are asking. We have to leave it there. Lisa Booth, Julian Epstein, thank you both.
Merry Christmas.
John, thanks so much, and Merry Christmas and Happy Holidays.
Merry Christmas.